10 after 6, I'll call this meeting back to order. We started in an executive session, and then we closed that just to open this. So it is Tuesday, December 19th, 6:10. I call this meeting to order. If you all rise and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So first order of business, approval of minutes for 12/12. I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes,
So moved.
and I'll have to second them because it was just the two of us there. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 13 for $370,599.71. School warrant number 1044 for $145,295.06. General warrant number 1045 for $247,574.05. And the wastewater treatment plant upgrade 1046 for $678,418.97.
So moved.
Second.
Right. Motion's been made and seconded. Any questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so before we get started on the rest of this, we have a guest tonight. We have our newly elected senator, state senator, Peter Durant, here. And he wanted to introduce himself and just say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to, as you stated, I just wanted to say hi to everybody, introduce myself as the newly elected state senator, Peter Durant, representing the Hampshire, the Worcester and Hampshire district, 22 towns. And just, again, come by, say hi, let you know that the office is in the process of being transitioned and opened. We're still trying to fill out some of the staff positions. But let you all know that, that you can reach us and just give you guys some information. You know, my office, my chief of staff, her name is Ann Gaudreau. Some of you may have already met Ann, and she's the chief of staff. And right now my legislative director is Curtis Bouchard. So those are the two people in the office now. We're working to fill out the other 2.5 positions. Yeah, halftime. We have a halftime position available. But you can reach us at the office. It's 617-722-1540. You can reach me at, our emails are pretty easy. It's peter.durant@masenate.gov. So you can always reach me there as well. But you know, just trying to keep the lines of communications open. I know as we go into the budget season and whatnot, I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about the needs of the town. But I do want you to know that we're always here, working closely with Rep. Berthium on the issues that are of importance to you, and happy to just be really brief and answer any questions if you have them at this time.
Does anybody have a question for Senator Durant?
Oh, somebody was going to ask me.
He's that guy.
Yeah. All right. All right.
You're going to have local office hours ever?
We are. Yeah, okay. We're going to. Right now, I know that that Ann and Donna from Rep. Berthium's office are coordinating, so that we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. If that doesn't work out, where people need kind of different times, we can split them up to make sure that it's more convenient. Because I know some people can do them at night, some people prefer them during the day, and maybe don't want to travel at night. But we're actually we're going to be starting office hours in January. And we'll be holding them monthly.
And they'll be posted on your website? Or?
Yeah, yep. We'll make sure that they're posted. I think Ann has typically in the past, for my rep office, when we had the rep's office, she'd have them like sent to the new leader and things like that nature too, so that you'd be at least try to make everybody aware of them.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Anybody else?
That was easy.
All right, thank you for coming out.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, we have a fire spending request. Brooke, would you read that?
Yes. Here we go. Dear Ashley, I'm requesting to spend $375 for 2 batteries for engine 2. One of the batteries is off-gassing and starting to cause problems. I'm requesting to spend $350 to do all the brakes on car 2. This repair has been put off for well over a year now. I'm requesting to spend $700 for new tires for car 1. The tires currently on there are very worn and need to be replaced. With the transfer of money Joe did at the town meeting, we have plenty of money in the vehicle repair line item. Thank you, Darren Anderson, Chief, North Brookfield Fire Department.
I'll entertain a motion to approve those requests.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I have some more background on the next request.
Okay.
So we get to discussion.
So we have a highway spending request for a power control modulator, $971 for the 2011 F-350. In the background?
So initially, when this request came in, we thought it was for a laptop, which is actually being covered by the IT grant that we just got. This is not an actual laptop. This is a computer that goes inside the truck that helps control it, and they need it for the truck to function.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Where'd the laptop thing come from? Just,
It was a miscommunication.
Okay.
I'm not sure where that happened, but it's been all cleared up since then. So this is a completely separate thing from the laptop that the IT grant is gonna purchase.
Okay.
okay.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the spending request for highway.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So we have a IT grant for $17,000 for computers and software that our town clerk put together and got it accepted. It's not a matching grant, it's just $17,000 that we get to buy computers and software with. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that contract.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Oh,
So
that's
this
great.
is for computer-related stuff only?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Good.
I'm good, yeah.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right. Eric Heavy. You had something you wanted to talk to us about?
Yes. I'm here tonight to offer my services to the Board of Selectmen to, I'd like to help manage the fire department, highway department project. And I would also like to request to get the committee back together so that we can help out with the project. And I know the selectmen have got a lot on their plate, and you know, I'm just here to offer my services to help out. And I'd really like to get the committee back together so that, you know, when it comes time to make some decisions at the department level, you know, the committee will be there to help out. Because once the project starts going, there's still decisions that need to be made at the department level, that if we have a committee, then I think that we'll be able to funnel that information to the departments, you know, in a more efficient manner. But my background, I've got experience dealing with projects in town. I was co-chair of this police facility. I helped build this, manage the project. We had a lot of challenges in this property. You know, it was built on a asbestos facility, so we had a lot to deal with. got experience dealing with OPMs and architects. I was on the original committee to when we built the first, we started the committee to do a new fire station. And then when we ran into problems with the cost being so high, then the project got taken away from us, from the committee. And then we were kind of left in limbo. So I'm back because I want to be involved. I'd like to manage it and help you guys move this process through, so that we don't run into any hiccups or delays or anything like that. So I'd like to get at least a 3 to 5 member committee together. And I'd like to, I'd like approval to manage it.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve of a management committee for the upgrades to highway and fire.
Second.
All right, discussions?
I'd like to table this for 2 weeks until we can decide what we want to do with it. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in favor of there being a committee in place to oversee some of the decisions. Because I think so far already we're running into some issues with delays and getting equipment down in places, getting measurements. And so I think this would be a really beneficial way to keep things on track if we kind of outlined, you know, how often that committee gives us updates, and you know, we talked about what needs to stay within budget, how it needs to stay within budget, and those sorts of things. If we had a good open line of communication, I think it could be really beneficial.
I think forming another committee is, right now, is going to add fury to the fire, because Tecton and the other guy seem to have things moving along, and they need to come forward to the Board of Selectmen with their findings on their own. Adding another committee is just going to add more bureaucracy to this thing.
Well, I can see both points, but to Eric's point, he has served on committees working with OPMs and architects in the past, particularly with this building here. So he has that experience to come back to it. I don't necessarily agree with having as many as 5 people on that committee, but but I do see the merit in having something separate from us, you know, informing us a little bit better than we've been informed. Eric?
I would just like to say that this project was supposed to be going out to bid in December. And then we're in December now. And there's no reason why it should be delayed. It's a renovation. There's no reason why we couldn't have met this deadline. By having a committee in place, and you guys will get updates, you know, however often you want them. If you want them weekly, every couple weeks, once a month, whatever it is, you'll get the updates. We just want to make sure, or I want to make sure, that this moves in a timely manner, and so we can make decisions when decisions need to be made.
So if we approve this, how often would you want an update?
I'd still like to table it for 2 weeks so that we can talk about it.
It's my understanding that in conversations with people in the industry, these projects right now are coming in at a decent cost. And I think it'd be very beneficial for the town if we can get this thing out to bid in mid-January. Putting it off, I don't.
Did you talk to the chief about it?
I have talked to him, I let him know that I came here tonight to talk about it. But it really comes back to the original committee, you know, which I was part of. I started the committee back when I was on the Selectmen. And then things just got dragged out, and then we totally lost our committee. So
Well,
I'm here to
at our
try to
meeting-
reestablish that.
At our meeting in 2 weeks, there's only gonna be 2 of us here, because I'm not gonna be in town that day. So we'd be looking at probably 3 or 4 weeks before we could sit as a full board and talk about this again. So, outside of wanting to table it, how do you feel about an amount of people on the committee?
If there was a committee, 3,
Okay?
but I still don't think we need a committee right now.
All right. Comments?
I think 3 is fair.
Who do you have in mind?
Right now, myself and Chief Anderson, and
Senator Durant, perhaps?
How about someone from highway?
yeah, I mean, that's the other side of it. I would hope that somebody would be interested in it, but if we
Maybe
keep
somebody
it,
outside of the project altogether.
if we keep it at a 3-member, then, you know, to have a quorum, you only need the 2 to keep, you know, things going. So
Right.
that's up to you guys. I mean, I want highway representation. But I haven't talked to anybody on it. I just want to get the committee established and going.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. All right,
So is that,
It's approved.
are you appointing me as
what I would
manager,
like
or?
is, why don't you, you can start contacting like the OPM, but come back with your committee in 2 weeks and get them appointed.
All right, because I would prefer that a letter go to the OPM and the architect from the office
Okay.
stating that a committee has been established with my name and Chief Anderson on the committee.
And you're sure he knows he's being?
He has to be on it. He has to be, because it's, you know, it's the fire department.
All right, well, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Eric Heavy and Chief Anderson to the new committee for oversight on the buildings.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
If anything, Jason Benoit needs to be the 3rd. He's highway and he's involved in it.
All in favor?
Aye.
With that stipulation,
Well, we'll talk about that later, when we talk to Jason.
then I'm a no for now.
All right, so there you have it.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
All right.
He's gonna step out for a second.
See you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, we have a sewer upgrade, update, and presentation.
Yep. Evening, I just wanted to come in, it's been about 6 months since we started down there, and I wanted to give you guys an update. I actually should have handed out some packets of information to you. For the rest of you, I believe she's going to get this on the website, give her a few days so that she has a chance to get it uploaded. Got a couple of photos, a couple of things we're looking at in the next couple of months, where we've been. I'll go through this and be as brief as we can and entertain any questions afterwards. So obviously, we all know that the project was driven by mandates from EPA, DEP to remove more phosphorus from the wastewater than the plant was able to attain because of its age. We've taken on those, everything's been out to bid and all that. So we're going to move forward with updating everything. Almost all the equipment in the facility is being updated. There are a few small pieces that aren't in this case because of limited use, which helps extend their life expectancy. And we're going to be automating as much as practical to be able to achieve better energy and operational efficiencies. As you can see on the next page, we have a proposed section of improvements. Pretty much everything in the facility gets touched. We will be referencing back to these things as we go through this. Obviously, headworks, septic receiving the headworks is where everything comes into the facility, then flows to the aeration basins, out to the secondary clarifiers, and then through what they notate here is CMF and UV, which is spontaneous filtration. We have the administration building and solids handling, and where the new blowers is indicated as part of our blower/dewatering building. There's also a biofilter notated in there, which takes care of a lot of the odors from the treatment facility in an organic method. So the first place that we're starting is in the septic receiving area. We had 2 small tanks totaling 8,000 gallons of storage. Keep in mind the average house has either 1,000 or 1,500 gallon tank. If it's a tight tank, usually closer to 2,000 gallons. So our capacity for being able to take things off hours was extremely limited. We were taking on average in the busy season, close to 25 to 30,000 gallons a day. So that storage was not compatible with being able to continue to increase the revenue stream for the department. So we came up with a storage, put in 2 bigger tanks in the pump station, replaced the pump station for that. We're rehabilitating the pumps that were there. We now have 40,000 gallons of storage. If you flip to the next page, you'll actually see where we removed the 2. And you can see these tank sections are being located by a crane there. There was a little bit of ledge to be removed. It wasn't too bad. A lot of that demolition work had occurred under the previous contract to put the first 2 tanks in. Moving down, you can see the largest section of concrete is actually being set on the single image on the page. It's about an 80,000 pound piece of concrete that was being lowered in by a crane. And the construction workers and everyone else with engineers had that on the first set was actually level and ready to go, which is very unheard of for setting large pieces in a tight space like that. Extremely well done by all crews involved. Moving on, you can see they were flying in. It was built as a sectional tank, so it was actually a little bit cheaper than having to truck in very large pieces of equipment on specialized rigs with a lot of road closures or police details to move this through. You can see there in the final picture on page 7 that the tanks are installed, resectioned, and the pump station in place. They still need to have some what they call risers put on them, or chimneys as some may call them, to get them up to what final grade will be, but we're waiting on installing that until a lot of the work inside the tanks to install some of the mechanical equipment and piping is done to save on the poor contractors walking up and down 10 plus feet of ladders just to get to the top of the tanks. So those are installed. We also began forming and pouring the septic receiving building, which will be where the haulers will be discharging through, which will have a flow meter for more accurate record keeping, as well as a screening mechanism to keep out large and extraneous debris from the pumps and the tanks. This has actually progressed a little bit further. We're hoping to have building steel moving about on a small crane here in the next few days. So we're actually slightly ahead of the schedule from our last update. See, the next place we started working was on the administration building. Building structure there was about 8 years old. That was a steel building. We had about maybe 10 years of life expectancy left. From an assumed 40-year life expectancy on steel buildings, we did notice there was some rot in the very bottom edge of the panels when we were tearing down the building. So it wasn't anywhere out of norm for it, but it was showing its age. You can see on the next page, the demolition crew came in. When we actually started tearing into the walls, while things put up in the mid-90s had a different level of need from insulation and everything else, we noticed there was very limited insulation in the building. While it probably met some of the necessities back then, it certainly was part of the cause of us having a little chilly in the winters in there, and maybe a little warm in the summers. But you can see in the second photo there that the demolition crew was able to remove the old structure and bring the site back to a pretty much greenfield condition. If you turn the page over, you'll actually see they started excavating for the new footings and started pouring the new footings for the new steel structure going up. Obviously, steel structure is a lot cheaper than a concrete building to put in, a lot cheaper to maintain in the long run. Unfortunately, they do have a shorter life expectancy. So you can see the rebars coming up there for the footings for the piers. That'll be where all the anchor bolts go to hold the building down. Looking into the 2 months ahead, we are planning to get the building envelope in for the septic receiving building. And steel is on site for the main steel structure. We're waiting on the paneling still. But they're going to start installing that out here in the coming days to a week. And then begin installing the interior equipment, which was ordered many moons back, but is finally on its way here. The major piece of that equipment is supposed to be delivered in the next 10 to 14 days, pending how holiday travel treats everything. Moving on from there, we'll be over to the administration building to complete the foundation work. Pouring of the frost walls needs to happen. They just got some of those formed up today. What you saw was just the base footings to allow for the structure. Frost wall bring everything up to grade, so you don't have the steel building right at the grade being detrimented by wet conditions. And they're hoping we have the structural steel on site, so as long as the concrete pours go as planned, they'll be installing the main structural supports for that building immediately following the septic receiving building. The electricians have been on site. They've been doing some rough-in work in the dewatering building and in the operations building, but they're hoping to get over and start installing the duct banks to run new wiring as well as control systems up to the headworks building as well as the septic receiving building. And they're going to, at the same time, when they have those trenches open, be able to install some new plant water lines for us as well. Slightly larger capacity to manage the new equipment going in. That's about where we hope to be mid to late February.
Excellent. And you're ahead of schedule now.
We are, I would say, currently we're slightly ahead of schedule, but we're really starting to get into some of the digging in the realm of where there is currently process equipment. The septic receiving structure is easy to get out of the way, redirect where we put the trucks into headworks. So there was really nothing in their way over there to be able to demolish and dig and do everything as they needed to. The administration building, kind of the same thing. They moved us up into a temporary office up behind the salt shed. So again, not really in the way of process. We're about to coming out of the winter, we'll be getting into affecting process control strategies. We'll be starting to talk about that at a high level with the construction operations as well as our on-site engineer to ensure that we don't have any interruptions, as minimalized as possible.
All right.
Are you still able to take outside stuff from?
We've closed for a total of 2.5 days of accepting septage during this entire project so
Okay,
far.
so you still have income coming?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our budget actually had been dropped slightly, assuming this was going to be a longer term process that wasn't, so we were able to continue to function. Of course, that means more solids generation, but
Right.
we'll work with it.
All right, excellent.
That's great, thank you.
Any questions, any others, or?
John?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. John, could you take care of the fire report?
The fire report from November 2023, there were 19 calls, 2 building fires, 1 cooking fire, 3 medical assists, 4 motor vehicle accidents with no injury, 1 flammable liquid spill, 2 carbon monoxide incidents, 1 false alarm, 1 CO detector due to malfunction, and 1 smoke detector due to malfunction. Please remember to clean your chimneys twice a year. Make sure to service your furnace at least once a year. After you empty your stove ashes, put your ashes in the proper container, remove that container from the house. Please check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors monthly. If you have any questions about your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors, please feel free to contact the North Brookfield Fire Department, Fire Prevention Division, nbfdfireprevention@gmail.com, and they will come and assist you. Respectfully submitted, Darren Anderson, Chief.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the fire chief's report for November 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Brooke, would you take the next thing on here?
Sure. So this is the senior center roof project. There's a change order that came through. The project architect has recommended a change order related to the fiscal year 20 senior center roof project in order to 1, replace all of the building's fascia, 2, repair the front low roof, and 3, repair the side low roof, for a total increase of $22,087.66. Based on the table below, there's plenty of room in the budget to cover this change order. Would you? I don't need to do, okay. Yeah, that looked, so yeah.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve the change order for the senior center roof.
So,
Second.
Any discussion?
it says there's plenty of money. Is that within the CMRPC grant that
It's
we
in,
got?
yeah, CDBG grant, yes.
Okay. Do we know how much is left in there, or after this, or
Off the top of my head, no, I
No.
don't, no,
as long as it's, because they could come up with something else
yeah.
down the road.
It says $24,669.98. It says the budget after CO 1 through 3, right? So the 22,000 is the change.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
It's
so
about
about
21.
24, okay. Yep,
Yeah, about 24,500.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now we have a town owner agreement contract amendment. This is for the Windward project in Brookfield. Increased funding has been approved by the state. So the following amendment is herein made to the contract documents for the property improvements being made to the building located at 8 Grove Street, Brookfield, Mass. Said improvements are funded by a deferred payment loan from the fiscal year 20 North Brookfield Community Development Program. The low bid for the project came in at $39,000. This amount does not require a single case waiver request to proceed. No changes have been made to the scope of the work. Now, this is a grant that we applied for with Brookfield. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract amendment number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
Brooke?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Public comment period. Okay. John, you want 2 minutes?
Nope.
All right, so we are going into executive session. So I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for reason number 1 on the list.
So moved.
Second.
Jason Petrides, yes.
John Tripp, yes?
Brooke Canada, yes.
We will exit executive session only to adjourn.